Oh boy, I'm excited about this one. In this video, I'm going to show you a tool to simply add a tag to an active campaign contact, so a CRM system, and then trigger an offline conversion within Google Analytics. All and more coming up. Hey there, Measure Geeks, Julian here, back with another video. Today I want to show you a little tracking technique, a little app script that I've written in order for us to be able to trigger an offline conversion within Google Analytics with our CRM system, in this case, Active Campaign. So where would this be useful? You might know that not all transactions actually happen on the website itself, and that's why Google Analytics never would know about these transactions. So your data set is sometimes incomplete. For example, if you have a quote form on your website and the user gives you their phone number and you call them back and tell them about your product and they decide to buy. How would Google Analytics actually know about this sale? You might have the information within your CRM system, like I have in Active Campaign, but there's no connection between Google Analytics and these CRM systems. So I come up with a workaround, and today I want to show you how you can simply add a tag to your Active Campaign contact, and then this will trigger an offline conversion within Google Analytics. So you'll be able to look up the contact actually within Google Analytics and see where he originally came from. This could be useful for phone conversions, but also webinar conversions or complex sales funnels where the user doesn't convert on the first visit. Now we got lots to cover, so I've actually broken this video up in two parts. In this first part, I'm going to show you how you can utilize this tracking technique. Then we'll go through the different components that are at play. And in the second part of this video, I'm going to show you how you can set this up step by step for your own website with Active Campaign. So you see, we got lots to cover, so let's dive in.
All right, before we dive in, I quickly wanted to run through the use case of what this tracking deployment will look like at the end. So here I'm on our demo shop where I've installed a Active Campaign form. This is taken directly from Active Campaign, but you could also install this through another third-party form software where you integrate Active Campaign. Now this form asks us for the full name, email address and phone number. Really, you could imagine that this is a quote form or any kind of process where you would close the customer offline. You would call them back or visit them at home or have a personal conversation with them, and not an online process like a checkout. So we'll fill out our details here and submit this. And this will create a new contact record within Active Campaign. So let's head over to Active Campaign. Here we are in our contact records, reload this. And here we go, we have our contact record. Now, we have asked the user for his or her phone number, so we'll call this user back and convince him to close a deal with us or buy our product. Now, this could be minutes afterwards or days or months afterwards. In the end, what we would need to do is just add a tag called offline conversion, and then we should see inside of our analytics. Let's go into the real-time reporting here under events. You already see there's a new event that just fired. What is this event? It's a offline transaction that just fired. Now with this offline transaction, we are actually sending on the user or the client ID that Google Analytics gave this user when he first visited the website. Now with this client ID, we would be able to go into our User Explorer report, which is under Audience, and User Explorer here, go to the right date, which is today, and search for this number. So here we go. We have one session by this user. Unfortunately, it takes some time to populate, but we should see in a second that there is also a transaction that happened because we actually sent over a transaction hit. So let's wait here for a second. And here we go. When we reload the page, we can see now that this was updated and we have our purchase now tracked within Google Analytics. This would obviously also then show up in the enhanced e-commerce tracking. So if you go over to conversions here under e-commerce and then our sales performance, we should see a new conversion in our sales tracking. So how did this go down? Let's break it down bit by bit. First of all, our form right here. Now this form is actually special because it has a hidden form field attached to it. So if you go here under inspect element and we look for the next form field here, we can see there's a hidden form field that transfers a number over, and this number is the client ID. Now, this client ID is actually something that Google Analytics generates, and we just fill it into this hidden form field. So it'll be sent once the user clicks on the submit button. How do I do this? Well, with my favorite tool, Google Tag Manager, we have a tag here that grabs the client ID and then fills it into our form. I'm going to show you in a second how this actually works. Now, once we send this contact off, it will be filled automatically into our contact record within Active Campaign. So here we have the client ID. Once the right tag is set, we actually build a little bit of an automation right here. I can show you this. Let's go into view. This will just listen for the tag offline conversion. Once this is added, it will create a webhook request. It will post the contact information to a webhook URL. Now this URL is a little bit of Google Apps Script, and it's all based on this sheet here, where we can see also which hits have already been sent. We can configure our hit. So this is in no way dynamic, but if you have just one type of transaction that could happen, then you can fill this out however you want with your revenue that you would generate, your product that you have sold, and if you would like to add any products, you can do this too. And this will construct the hit. And once a new webhook is detected, we have a little bit of an app script right here that searches for the client ID field in the contact record, pulls that out and meshes it together with this information, and then sends this off to Google Analytics as an event with transaction data attached. And that's how these reports then get filled. So if you're interested in rebuilding this tracking, let's go through it step by step.
Alright, as mentioned, we have cut this video in half. So if you want to have the step-by-step instructions on how to set this up, then head over to the video right there if it's already available, or subscribe to our channel so you'll stay up to date when the next video comes out. Now, my name is Julian. See you in the next one.